All right, welcome back, friends. It is Thursday, December 10th. It's Rod with Power Group, and in today's video, we're going to discuss the new facility at Belleville, Ontario, Hexo's new facility, and some information and a new teaser video that just came out. This is going to be going live over social media over the next few hours, I would assume. So I thought I'd do a quick video on it before we jump into today's video. Make sure to smash the like, hit the subscribe button, and tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future updates. So Hexo virtually unveils Belleville Manufacturing Center of Excellence Truss Bottling Facility, which will bring up the video here in just a second. So Hexo's Center of Excellence, they were proud to virtually unveil its Center of Excellence in Belleville, including the Truss Beverage Co. Truss Bottling Facility through its joint venture with Molson Coors Canada. So the video will debut today on social media. So like I said, within the next few hours, we can probably start to see it on paid advertisements, that type of thing. So again, we'll jump into the video here in just a second, but I do want to read through this. So we are thrilled to celebrate the year with our shareholders by virtually showcasing our Manufacturing Center of Excellence in Belleville, said Sebastian St. Louis, CEO and co-founder. The operational capabilities in Belleville have been instrumental in helping us reach the #1 position in Canada, both in the hash and beverage categories. Based on the latest quarterly filings from top competitors, Hexo is now top 4 in adult use market share by net sales dollars in Canada, and we are closing the gap to top 3. We are confident that Belleville's capacity, scalability, and innovation capabilities will continue driving sales and growth across categories. And Hexo stated about a year ago that they wanted to be the #2 cannabis player in Canada, obviously next to Canopy Growth, as they have a long road ahead of them to beat out the granddaddy Canopy, but it's definitely doable in my opinion, and they're absolutely leading the innovation in the space. They are award-winning consumer packaged goods company, so they're more focused on consumer packaged goods and making something special out of the plant. So whether it be beverages or the hash or, you know, competing with the black market, they seem to be, you know, giving the consumers what they want, and they seem to be disrupting the space and a lot of people scrambling to duplicate their efforts. So with that, we'll jump into the video here. Enjoy, and we'll check back in just a second. All right, pretty amazing video. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the video, they had some soft gels They also had pre-rolled joints. So I did check a couple of websites. I was on the OCS, the SQDC, and Alberta Cannabis, and it looks like they do have on the SQDC, they do have individual pre-rolls of the original stash. So that's cool to see. So they're getting into that space. So more products likely to be expected. We'll just go over a couple of news and events here as well. And I'll jump into some charting as what we can expect for Hexo over the next couple of days before the annual general meeting tomorrow and the earnings pre-market on the 14th. So we have 2 more trading days until earnings are out pre-market. So just be aware. One thing to note, that jobless claims rose more than expected after the break from the holidays. So the pace of weekly jobless claims jumped last week, and a lot of people probably thought it was going to miss. So that's positive. So that may stop the bleeding on SPY today, which should stop the bleeding on Hexo. We saw Hexo was down yesterday, closed at 98 cents because of SPY's consolidation and the market, just pulling back in general. So this is good. First claims for unemployment insurance total 853,000, an increase from the uply revised 716,000 total from the week before. The Labor Department reported Thursday. Economists surveyed by Dow Jones had been expecting 730,000. So that was a huge beat. So maybe we see the end of SPY consolidation and then the green light to go on Monday, because the last time Hexo reported stellar earnings, the overall market started to consolidate. Didn't bode well for the Hexo bulls. So we saw the Motley Fool. Again, I take what they say with a grain of salt, but there is some truth to some things that they say. The industry billionaires bought hand over fist in Q3. So between the US election and multiple drug companies reporting blah, 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 not going to say that. Results in November, a lot of otherwise important news was lost in the shovel. Among these news events was the quarterly filing of Form 13Fs from the Security and Exchange Commission. In simple terms, a 13F provides an intricate look at what money managers with over 100 million in assets under management were holding as of the end of the most recent quarter, in this case, September 30th. A 13F also allows investors to decipher what stocks successful money makers and managers have been buying and selling. This can help professional and retail investors spot trends in the market and might not otherwise be obvious. So successful money managers can't stop buying into this surprising industry. In the third quarter, many of the industries and trends you'd expect to be hot, like cloud computing, cybersecurity, healthcare, remain top targets by money managers. But there was one surprising industry that saw incredible purchasing activity from billionaires and aggregate 13F filers, Canadian marijuana stocks. So I've been saying this on this channel for a while now, that I think Canadian marijuana stocks are stronger. I think that they are, in the short term at least, obviously companies like Trulieve have run 300%, 400%, 500% since the March lows. But like I said, in the short term, I expect Canadian marijuana, with the Canadian government looking to do law changes and reforms of the Cannabis Act, that could bode well. We have Ontario potentially not legalizing drinks, but allowing drinks at venues and bars and that type of thing. And that starts to happen, and we can start to see them at restaurants. That's obviously going to be huge if they start to, relax the advertising laws and restrictions as well, so that we can, so that Hexo and other big producers can produce or can advertise on national television, that type of thing. So that's going to have a huge impact, obviously, on sales. We're starting to see more marketing through Snapchat, Instagram, you name it. But some of those 13F filers from sequential second quarter were Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth, Tilray, Hexo, Sundial, Organigram, Aphria, and Kronos. So looks like Sundial got 104.4%. Next to that was Hexo, 32.8%. And a lot of people are speculating that there could be a deal potentially between Sundial and Hexo. So maybe that's why we see them a little bit more standing out there and in terms of percentages. And if Hexo buys Sundial, then that would mean that Sundial would likely benefit more. So Sundial is obviously the beneficiary of that transaction. If Hexo were to purchase them out, it'd probably be bullish for Hexo as well, in my opinion, because they're gaining market share and just overall dominance. Depends how that deal was structured. If it was an all stock or if they did cash, just depending on how it would be done. I can't see them buying it all in cash, as Sundial would be worth a lot more than the 184 million in cash that Hexo has. So maybe we can tell a little bit about what's going on here. Maybe there is a deal that could happen, And maybe that's why we see them standing out and Sundial up the most. So found that article interesting. You can read the rest on your own time, but we'll keep moving on for the sake of time in this video. I do want to go through a couple just products that I noticed that have price drops. So on the OCS, the Ontario Cannabis Store, they did drop it from $47.95 for the OS hash. So that was $47.95 prior. Now it's $39.95 with an $8 drop. But I found that a little odd because I'm from Alberta, and here you can buy it on the Alberta Cannabis Store for $37.99. And it's always been that price. And even with the price drop in Ontario, it's still more expensive. So anyways, I did a quick comparison of the two websites and the SQDC. Some products on the SQDC are definitely cheaper, but the flower on the Alberta Cannabis website is cheaper. So the original stash ounce is like $109, and then on the SQDC, I think it was $120. Same with the OCS, it's a little bit more expensive, but the beverages seem to be a little cheaper on the SQDC. So some things are cheaper on the SQDC, some things are cheaper on Alberta Cannabis and the OCS, but you'll just have to keep checking in to see if there's any deals in your area. But it does look like there's more and more deals and price drops coming into effect. You can see the Very Well CBD dropped $10 from $59.99 to $49.99. I really like that product. We also have the 1-to-1 Tinkle drops on sale as well at $49.99. So I thought I'd share that with you guys in case you're interested in taking advantage of some holiday savings. So we'll take a look at the chart here. So Hexo after hours, or I guess pre-market, is at 99 cents, so still above still below $1. We'll take a look at the daily chart. So again, we didn't break the high of the previous day. We need to break the high of the previous daily candle to be confident that the daily bounce is underway. We also need to change the hourly trend. And at this point, we do have this support line on the RSI. And if we go back here, you can see that we had a lot of confluence in this level, in this red line here. So what was old resistance may become new support. We also have this uptrend line, and we're testing that line right now. MACD is starting to potentially cross bearish here. So just keeping an eye on that. But it's entirely possible that we see hourly oversold conditions before we see a bounce, because we could just go sideways for the next couple of days into the earnings report. A lot of people just kind of sitting on the sidelines, or just kind of, sitting on their hands waiting for the next move. And like I said, we need to break the high of the previous daily candle, which we've yet to do in the last 5 days. So the high of yesterday at 104 is going to be in play today. If we can get over 104 and change the hourly trend, then we can be confident that the daily high or low is set. But in my opinion, we need to get over 106 convincingly to be in an hourly uptrend, and we need to break the high of the previous day. If we do not do that today, then we can keep an eye out for hourly oversold. We did almost touch down to hourly oversold. So if I just take off extended hours here, you can see we never actually did. So it was a lot closer on extended hours, but if we take the extended hours off, we never quite hit oversold. So maybe we do need to hit the hourly oversold conditions. And generally, hourly oversold conditions after a big bull move and looking for a daily high or low to be established is a decent trade. So I'll be watching out for that as well, but that's what you can expect going into today. But we're in a monthly uptrend on Hexo. We are in a weekly uptrend. We're in a daily uptrend, just searching for a daily high or low. And I'll just remove these lines here. So actually you can see we did have a daily EQ pattern and the previous resistance at 85, and we have EMA 26 here at 89.79. So I could see a potential bounce point around the 85 to 90 cent region in that area. We also have this green support line down here around the 80 to 82 cent range. So I could see a potential drop to around 85 cents. If that were to happen, we'd obviously be hourly oversold. We'd be a little extreme. We would have lost EMA 26, and that could provide a nice entry point as well if that happens. If you are looking to get an entry before the earnings, watch out for that as a potential play, as that could happen today or tomorrow before pre-market on Monday. So that's pretty much where we stand. Again, keep an eye out for hourly oversold. And we'll just take a look at the weekly chart here as well. So Hexo on the weekly, we're still well above the 10-week moving average. We have the 10-week moving average at 82. So again, a lot of confluence in that 80 to 85 cent area. The MACD and stochastic are cross bullish as well. So as long as these remain bullish and the black above the red, as long as we maintain above this blue average, 10-week moving average, by the end of the week, everything points to, you know, huge momentum and upside going into the earnings. Again, I don't normally bet on earnings, but this is a company that I'm holding for the long term, and I'm comfortable holding through earnings as I love the company, love their products, and I expect nothing but great things in the future. So taking a look at the weekly moving averages. So we also have the 50-week moving average at 85 cents. So again, more confluence in that level. I could definitely see hourly oversold around 90 cents or 85 cents if we get there, and a lot of support in that level. It's going to be really hard for bears to break it down below the 85 cent range, in my opinion. But that would either take some serious bad news from Hexo, maybe like share dilution or something like that, or you know, an impairment charge or something like that, a write down, or just SPY falling off a cliff. So if the S&P 500 were to, you know, dive 10 or 20%, then yeah, we could easily lose 85 cents on Hexo, but a lot of confluence and support at that mid 80 cent level. And even on the daily chart, you can see here that we have the 50-day moving average down at 79. So again, between 80 and 85 cents, a lot of support there. MACD also looking to potentially cross bearish on the daily. So just being cognizant of that. But again, just searching for that daily high or low, need to break the high of the previous day. So with that, thanks for joining me on another Hexo update video. Hope you enjoyed the Belleville facility video. It was absolutely incredible. I love their marketing. I love the products. I love the company, and I'm extremely excited to see what 2021 has in store. So thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you a little bit later on today for another daily market recap.